on AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Yo, 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 welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour on this beautiful Friday, and I am fired up. Mr. Gabe Kuhn, I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be a beautiful day, and we are locked and we are loaded. We got Jim McCormick at 1:30 to talk fantasy football, because nothing is more, dude, who doesn't like fantasy football? Everybody loves a little fantasy football. Hit us up at 67129 with your fantasy football questions. Everybody and their grandmother likes to put a little action on it. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people who probably listen to this probably like to put some action on it. I would say probably about half. I know I sure like to put action on games. I can tell you that much. And I can tell you at 2 o'clock, my man Lee Sterling is going to join us. And we are going to rap about all the games this week. And I am fired up. Now, 2:30, Gabe Kuhn's brother, Alex Kuhn. He's going to come in here and join us, and we are going to break everything down, and we're just going to have some fun. And, we have the leadoff with Gabe Kuhn at in just a couple minutes. But before I get to everything, I got to say, can you believe the Cardinals had won 44 straight postseason games, went up by 4 runs, and then Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado go back-to-back, bang, bang! Will Myers, bang, bang! And, dude, all of a sudden, that Cardinals pitching staff that was looking so good went bang, 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 bang.
I took my eyes off that game for 25 minutes, came back, and they were down 9-8. They were up for the longest. What was the score there?
Dude, it was 6-2.
It was 6-2, and then I came back. It was 9-8. It's not like the Cardinals couldn't score.
No,
they tried to. They almost in the ninth inning almost had a little.
Oh, yeah,
they
tried to. And if they would
Paul Goldschmidt hit a bomb.
If they didn't give up the 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th, they would have tied it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. If they wouldn't have give up the home run to Will Myers.
Will Myers. But, by the way, do you know what that home run did? That home run, by the way, because you mentioned it, Fernando Tatis and Will Myers, do you know what they become? The first teammates with multi-homer game since guess who? Babe bleeping Ruth and Lou Gehrig. Do you want to know something that's even scarier? 88 years to the day. Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig were the last to do it. They did it on October 1st, 1932. Yesterday, Fernando Tatis Jr. and Will Myers did it on October 1st, 2020. 88 years to the day. Tell me that's not crazy. That's kind of like dude, that's eerie, bro. That was wild. And by the way, Fernando Tatis and Will Myers combined for 9 RBIs, while Ruth and Gehrig only combined for 6 RBIs, so they got him there. And Ruth and Gehrig, though, when they hit their home runs, that was Game 3 of the 1932 World Series versus the Cubs. And this was just Game 2 of the 2020 NL Wild Card Series versus the Cardinals. But it's still postseason baseball. It was still 88 years to the day, and it was crazy awesome. Also seeing, Machado go back-to-back after Fernando Tatis just shows that unbelievable run by San Diego. I know they don't have their best 2 pitchers, and the guy that mid-season move to get Clevenger and give a bunch away has kind of backfired, but the kids are hitting. But I hate to say this, and I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. 6 o'clock, where I'm going to, hopefully before 5, because I'd like to, beat some traffic if I can get out of here early today. That'd be a beautiful thing. If anybody's listening that works here. I want to really tell y'all, I think I'm in love. Cardinals plus 10. Flaherty's on the hill. And guess what? They were going to start the 20-year-old kid, and then they pulled him. So now they are undecided currently. So, I mean, the 20-year-old kid are undecided. You know what I mean? Like they're looking around like, They're trying to figure out what they're going to do, man. Like, San Diego's like, damn, who we throwing? Who we throwing?
And, heck, the Cardinals been hitting the ball. That's surprisingly.
Exactly. They've been, dude, they scored 9 runs and lost. I mean, I still can't believe, Ponce de Leon, was he just grooving that jump right down the middle or what?
Yeah, he was.
Why was he doing that? I'm like, dude.
Hey, you talk about it all the time. You know about command.
Pressure, I know. You get the big moment.
And then you lose a little bit of command.
Lose a little bit of command, and that ball slips right back over the plate, and then pow! And that's what we saw last night, and it was so much fun. But right before, I don't know if you can tell, I'm loving life. And by the way, I love L.A. Thank you, Dodgers. Tonight, Lakers, all I got to do is land you. And I have to tell you something. You won't believe this. Do you know that I hit, those Broncos?
Yeah, of course.
Because
we talked about it.
I just knew. Adam
again,
Gase would give it away. It looked like no.
But we talked about it before. We talked about it before we left yesterday. If I lose money betting on the Jets, I don't deserve to bet ever again.
Correct.
Like, just truthfully, I can't do that to myself.
Yes. And I took, Brett Rippon, who's Mark Rippon's nephew, was on the practice squad for Denver, but he was a Bronco when he played at Boise State. He was born a Bronco. He played a Bronco, and guess what he did? Which is, you want to talk about how yesterday was so weird in symmetry with Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and Will Nyers and Fernando Tatis? Well, for me, it was very crazy in symmetry too. Because do you know who Jim Drunkenmeyer is?
I do.
Druckenmiller.
Yes.
Played at Virginia Tech,
then
San Francisco. Played at did you know he was the Memphis Maniacs quarterback?
Yes.
And we also played together on the greatest softball team in the history of the world. Nobody beat us.
What was the name?
I can't even remember. I think we were the half shell team, maybe. I can't remember. It was one of those restaurant leagues. And man, dude, when you got Jim out there and some of the people we had out there, nobody beat us. He played a mean third base too. But he's the last person to win a football game with 3 interceptions until who, Gabe?
I'm assuming Brett Rippon.
Correct. And I will tell you one thing. I had to apologize on Twitter because in the fourth quarter, I was cussing him heavily. What are you throwing to, you idiot? And that then when he got the pass, he got the intentional grounding call. The dude is running to the right. Every route is to the right. The guy's out to the right. The tight end comes across, runs the seam and goes to the post, and then the dude just runs a little 3-yard drag. He's wide open, by the way. And Rippon just goes, and throws it out to the left side. There's not a Bronco 40 yards near it.
Hey, he's young, still trying to get it going.
But
he doesn't understand
McManus hit it.
When he gets under pressure sometimes he makes bad decisions. But I know he wasn't the leading receiver last
pressure,
night.
I got a funny story.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. But I know he wasn't the leading receiver last night, but Jerry Jeudy is a baller.
By the way,
he really is.
Did you see how happy he was about the LeBron James tweet? Like, dude, he had his first touchdown, and he was kind of like all being cool out there, And the reporters are talking to him. He's like, yeah, I got my first touchdown. I expect some more. And the one reporter goes, did you see LeBron James tweet you out? And he goes, what? LeBron James tweeted me out? Oh, Lord, I'm just blessed. I was like, dude, he's like the, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty awesome. Like, dude, he's a professional football player. He scores his first touchdown. He's excited. He was kind of being humble. When the reporter told him that King James tweeted him out, he was about to fall over, dude. Like, he just was like, you could tell he was like, where's the phone? Where's the damn phone? I need a phone. I want to see this.
But he went up over Pierre Desir last night for that TD.
Jeudy, Moss.
Oh, that was the definition of a Moss.
That was sweet. He just pulled that junt down, showed his power. Because Rippon threw a 50-50 ball. It's actually more of like a 70-30.
Hey, but that DB got his payback later with a pick six.
He did get a pick six. But Rippon literally threw it right to him. If he didn't get a pick six, you know what I'm going to tell you? He would have looked like that dude who, when he dropped the interception before Chubb made the sack, I was like, oh my God, I'm destined to lose. I'm sitting here I'm on the floor of my house going, I'm just destined to lose. They're just giving this away. But anyway, 3 interceptions, first dude to win since my friend Jim Drunkenmiller. And by the way, guess where he met his wife? Well, I was tending bar out at Alfred's, man. Isn't that nice? Well, they're ex now, so maybe not so. Anyway, before I get to my favorite take, and me and Gabe are about to rock and roll, I want y'all to make sure today we're sneaking in a little Hardwood after Lee Sterling. And when I say sneaking it in, kind of what Lane Kiffin tried to do this weekend, Mr. Gabe Kuhn, I'm just kind of curious. Do you have any context of what I'm talking about, or do you know anything about this?
You gave me an idea when you walked in of he Has to do with being on the toilet, maybe?
So,
Something like
Mr.
that?
Kiffin is, by the way, it's COVID-19, so, everybody is doing media days via just via the phone, no Zoom, no nothing. It was still, it's been on Wednesday via the phone since I can remember, actually. But anyway, it's, the day the coaches come on and you get a few minutes and, hey, coach, I'm so-and-so with so-and-so. Hey, blah, 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 blah. Lane Kiffin's like, oh, man, that's a great question. So he's like, well, a challenge playing a real good team, very physical and runs the ball well, and great defense last year in the first game and limited explosive plays. Flush.
That was a good impression.
Long
Nice.
pause, and
Nice.
we're gonna play this for you, and it makes me cry because I'm a child. But Gabe, guess what? I'm in the box. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. Let's start in your forte, the MLB. 2 wildcard series to decide. Miami and Chicago, the Marlins and the Cubs, and then St. Louis and San Diego, the Padres and the Cardinals. Who you got in each of these?
Man, okay, this is, I hate to say this to some people, especially, I sure hope he's actually gone and not here right now. This is vicious. I think.
Are you going to say no, Cubs, no?
I'm going to get to them second. Well,
Okay.
dude, John Lester is pitching, okay? John Lester is going to pitch Game 3. If they win today against Sixto Sanchez. Sixto! By the way, what's the score? Have they started yet? Have they started?
It should be the top of the first. It started at 1:08. They have those weird start times.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, top of the first, 2 outs.
Sixto Sanchez.
Yeah. Looks like the Cubs are about to get out of the top of the first.
Yu Darvish, under 7. Let's go, baby. I don't care who wins, but if it goes Game 3, I'm going to tell you a little secret, Mr. Gabe Kuhn. Do you want to hear something weird? Do you know the Miami Marlins in their history have never lost a series in the postseason? Never. Look it up. They've made 2 postseasons. They were 2 wild cards. They have 2 World Series rings. Dog, don't play no games with me. They have never lost a series. And if you got to go John Lester, a lefty, against Miami, the way they're hitting the ball, Aguilar's going to bust him. I know they lost Marte. Maybe he can come back. Anderson will hit. I'm telling you, Dickerson, it's on like Donkey Kong, and you're going to have to deal with Pablo Lopez. And what a story, Miami. And I'm going to mention this. First 9 games. Because of COVID, do you know what happened and they had to deal with? Do you know that Don Mattingly had 9 different pitchers? 9 for their first 9 games, 9 straight different pitchers. Did you know they broke a record, major league record for history? And this was in a shortened season, not over 162. 27 different pitchers started for the Miami Marlins this year. Yet they are right here in the postseason where they belong, and they've never lost a series. And I hate to say it, the Cubs couldn't hit their way. They couldn't hit a weak pinata with a huge baseball bat. Telling you, Rizzo, Contreras, Schwarber, Kyle Bryant, they're just missing and whiffing everything. I'm telling you. Sixto might shut them down today. You better watch out. Now, Darvish is going to shut down Miami because Darvish is nasty. But tomorrow, I'm going with Pablo Lopez. So I'm taking Miami.
Okay. What about the other one?
Dude, it's over. You know what? Today, the beauty of talking about Gehrig and Ruth and Tatis and Mr. Myers. I like how he used no batting gloves. Kind of reminds me a little Mark Grace-esque. But anyway, point is, the Cardinals are winning. The Cardinals are hitting. But the one thing the Cardinals have that is far superior than the Padres, even though Ponce de Leon and the bullpen yesterday looked like a bunch of bums, they actually got a starting pitcher on the hill in Mr. Flaherty. And I'm going to tell you a little something about him. Dude is filthy. He's nasty. And in a Game 3, it's a Game 1 now. It's just a 1-game playoff. Whoever wins this, John, is moving on. Whoever loses, season OV. I'm taking Flaherty over, damn it, I still don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I just...
You certainly have to feel bad for the Padres not having Clevenger and Lamet for the series. 2 fantastic starting pitchers. And, that's... When you get into the playoffs, especially when you get into series, it's about pitching matchups. And the Padres have been on the bad end of that this
Talk
series.
about bad luck. Yeah, so I think it's going to be Cardinals and Marlins moving ahead. And I'm going to ask you real quick, what do you think?
I would go ahead and probably say the same. I don't think the Cubs can hit well enough to even beat the Marlins here. They're going to have to win 2 straight. I just can't see them getting enough run support to do that. And then the Cardinals, you look at the pitching matchup, you would certainly lean the Cardinals' way. But then again, the Padres lineup is very, very filthy.
Yeah,
so
but it looks like
I'm into this. I think the Padres and the Cardinals is a toss-up. I think the Marlins is sort of a locked-in thing to me.
Adrian Morejon is going to pitch today, okay? He's 21 years old. I'm telling you, he's going to start the game. You can go to a lot of places that say it's undecided. You go to a lot of the other places that you actually pay for. They pretty much say unequivocally that he's going to be the guy who gets the ball. This is a guy who's, made it to the major leagues when he was 20 because he's very talented. Problem is he's got a 4.66 ERA over 19.1 innings. That is not good. Not good at all, people. He gives up runs like it's going out of style. He gives up hits. He doesn't get a lot of Ks right now because he's learning how to pitch in the majors because he's still a baby. He's 21 years old. And a lot of people are like, man, basketball, man, you see 20-year-old kids dominate. You see stuff in other – listen, baseball is a skill and a learned game. You have to learn how to play that junt. You need coaching unlike Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn how to play the game. You need almost the wheel reinvented for you, I guess. Kyrie Irving, you idiot. Sorry.
We'll get to that, I promise you.
Oh.
Now, I want to get to what we just sort of talked about in the very beginning about the Jets and Broncos Thursday Night Football. The Jets lose again. Dropped 0-4. They stink. No surprise there. They lose 37-28. But I'm sorry. If you lose to Brett Rippon in his first NFL start, come on, guys. This is embarrassing.
Practice squad.
And I'm just going to ask very, very, very simply, why is Adam Gase still employed?
He must have Woody Johnson must be addicted to yayo because he must have a great Miami hookup from back in the day. And he must get – what do you think? Do you think he gives him some really good blow or something?
Who knows, man?
That's the only thing I can think of.
Who
because
knows?
By the way, just so y'all know, I'm joking around and I'm floating conspiracy theories because the man can't coach. I know a lot of people are like, well, he went 6-2 at the end of the year last year. Yeah, they opened 0 and started 0-4 just like they did this year. Let me tell you something. You start 0-4 every year, and then you end 6-2. You're still gonna miss the daggone playoffs every year, and that's pitiful. And do you see how many penalties they have? And I mean, like the tight end last night. What's his name? He looked like he didn't even want to catch the ball for his coach. In the first half, the defense didn't even look like they wanted to play.
Talking about the Jets tight end?
Yeah, I can't.
Chris Herndon.
Yeah, Herndon. Herndon.
Here's
that was embarrassing. I was happy, but
want to know my least favorite thing about this is Adam Gase, beyond just being a terrible coach, and you see what Ryan Tannehill does without him.
Sorry.
You look at Sam Darnold, you could see what he could possibly do with someone else. How many times is he going to mismanage these dang injuries? Le'Veon Bell, right? And then last night, my guy Mekhi Becton. They said he had a shoulder issue before the game. And somebody got hurt, so Adam Gase forces him in there. And then he hurts his shoulder, pulls himself out, and then Adam Gase after the game had the nerve to say, oh, well, he pulled himself out. Dude, he shouldn't have been in there in the first place. This is your first-round pick. This is a guy you need to save. You need to save him at all costs. He is one of your biggest bright spots on that entire team, and you keep mismanaging these injuries. It's like he does not care about his players as players. He just sees them as means to get him where he wants to go.
And now this is what I want to also ask you. There's no way to be a winner if that's how you treat your players because your players have to want to go run through a wall for you. Dude, when people talk about Riley or Belichick, or when people talk about Phil Jackson, there are different approaches, but all their players, they want to win so bad for their coach. They have such an immense respect for their coach. Coaching is very important, and right now, Adam Gase doesn't have respect from anybody. Could you imagine being on that team, the lack of trust with your Le'Veon Bell or another player on that team, and you see how he mismanaged his hamstring, and then you see what he does to your first-round pick? If I'm the general manager, I'm not letting him around my players anymore because he obviously doesn't know how to manage the team. He doesn't know how to do winning football. Sam Darnold's not getting any better.
And not to mention talking to the media about your players and saying how much you don't appreciate having them on your team like you did with Le'Veon
Loud
Bell.
Bell at the beginning.
It is a disaster. I don't think it was a good hire from the beginning given what he did in Miami. But still, at this point, why the hell is Adam Gase still employed? Makes zero sense.
Only thing I can figure out, he came from Miami. Woody must have needed a hook
And
up.
his eyes were really big in his intro press conference.
Dude, I just showed
Who knows?
I just showed that the boss, it was good stuff.
He did come from Miami, so you might be onto something. But anyway, I have to get to this because this was very interesting. We had a long line of sort of Kyrie, KD conversation yesterday. But LeBron talked to the media about why him and Anthony Davis as a duo work. And he mentioned a point that really seems obvious to me at this point, but he says there's no jealousy involved in their relationship. And this came the same day. As Kyrie Irving decided to say that with Kevin Durant on his team with the Nets, he finally feels like he isn't the best option to score on his team. And I just want to ask, with LeBron saying this about jealousy, do you think that LeBron was firing back at Kyrie yesterday?
Oh, this is a great one because let me tell you something. Unequivocally, absolutely, 100%. And by the way, I just want to ask all you people out there, because this was before you worked here, I took so much heat because I said Kyrie's not a winner. He will never win. I said he will never win another championship without LeBron James. He's too selfish an individual. LeBron James was the only thing that kept that thing a team in Ty Lue. You know what I'm saying? Hell, Kevin Love almost had a damn nervous breakdown. But anyway, Kyrie, that wasn't even the dumbest thing he said. Like, the dumbest thing, he straight up took a shot at LeBron James. I think also J.R. Smith, who's a heck of a shooter. What about Kevin Love even? I mean, anybody he's ever played with, I've always been the and now I finally got a you-know-what that can do it too. Like, that's a straight up shot at LBJ, okay? By the way, you only got that ring because of LBJ. And I'm going to ask you to check yourself, Kyrie. Look at your career and look at his. If you ever get another ring, you bought it off of eBay, homie. You ain't getting another ring. I don't care that you got Steve Nash and Kevin Durant coming off this injury. Man, let me tell you a little something. You're the most selfish individual, and you will never get a championship. I said it then. I took so much heat from the people. I'm saying it still. He is a jealous individual. That's why he didn't win anything at Duke, and he was always injured. That's why he never won anything at Cleveland. And then LeBron James comes and he wins, and he goes to even a better team in Boston. He almost sucks the life out of that suck and kills it. They take him out. They're a better team and make it to the playoffs and do all the stuff you need and go all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, it's just a different thing. And then the dumbest thing he said, though, wasn't even that. The dumbest thing he said in that interview is, I don't see us. He's talking about Steve Nash. Talking about Steve, and he's like, yeah, I don't see us as having a head coach. He said I could be the head coach. KD could be the head coach. Steve can be the head coach. He said it's more of a collaborative effort, thing with us. Let me tell you what that is. That's called team cancer. Period. Kyrie equals team cancer. If you're Steve Nash, I'm telling you, I want to come across the thing and pimp slap him and let me show you who the head coach is. Sean Marks hired me, not you, a-hole. That's what I'm telling him.
Honestly, it's getting to the point with Kyrie where I don't even know if we can give him the time of day with some of the things he says. It's getting embarrassing.
It is.
He's making himself look like a fool. And he is the guy, and I think Colin Cowherd said this morning, and I don't usually quote Colin Cowherd, but what he had to say about it was he's the guy at the party who starts spewing off conspiracy theories, and you just sort of nod, and then you walk
Flat
off
Earth.
and go, and you walk off and just go get the bean dip, right?
Yep,
like You're just
exactly.
tired of dealing with him and hearing what he has to say day in, day out, because it's just so detrimental to the teams he's on and himself, and it's very self-destructive, truthfully.
And by the way, just check out people. Michael Jordan, who actually he was a partial owner of the Wizards, and he was a player, went back to coming playing for the Wizards. Didn't he hire Doug Collins? He was a player. He could have been a player coach. I mean, heck, back in the day they did it. What I'm saying, he was the dude, the coach's boss, but he even knew they needed coaching. You have to have somebody giving you direction. You have to have somebody breaking down the other team's film. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that go into coaching, and the lack of respect that Kyrie shows to coaches. Who in the heck would want to coach that? I feel like Steve Nash just walked into a nuclear bomb. Everybody says this is the greatest job in the world. You get the talented Kevin Durant. And I agree, he's unbelievable. But and people keep saying, and you get the greatness of Kyrie, and I want to say, yeah, but I got to take a break. Never forget, MemphisFarmers.com, Chad Gatlin. This is Sports 56. We're going to fantasy football. Make sure you get locked and loaded. Jim McCormick's next. 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Chad Gatlin is your Mid-South Farmers agent, and he's easy to find. Just go to MemphisFarmers.com to get a fast quote or call his office at 901-237-1176. And during this wild time we're all facing, know Chad has you covered. Whether you need to file a claim, get a quote, or just talk about what he can do to give you the absolute best coverage at the best price. Chad is a Memphis man and knows the area and that everyone is different, and he will work to make sure you have everything you need and nothing you don't. Get a fast quote at MemphisFarmers.com or call 901-235-1176.
The United States Postal Service has been around since 1775, and since then, you can rely on the Postal Service to make sure what matters to you gets to your mailbox. You'd think you couldn't improve on that. But now, with informed delivery notifications, you'll know when those important packages and letters are coming to your mailbox, with an email every morning telling you what's on the way. It's the reliability of the United States Postal Service matched with the technology of today. It's time to get peace of mind. Sign up now for free at informeddelivery.com. Informed Delivery. If it's in the mail, it's in your email.
Even in times like these, special occasions happen. And when an occasion calls for special, it calls for 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination. From the spectacular 36-ounce porterhouse, paired with a Ferrari Carano Cabernet, to the jumbo lump crab cakes, to the raw bar with oysters fresh off the boat from the Gulf and the East Coast, there is simply no finer dining experience in Memphis than 117 Prime, in the heart of downtown. These are complicated times, but if you want simply the best, you want 117 Prime.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply. Men over 40, is your body feeling soft and not as lean? Are you losing your energy, drive, or even your passion? If so, you could be feeling the loss of growth hormone. The reality is, as early as 25, your natural production of GH begins to significantly slow down, which means you start slowing down. Well, listen to this. New GH Boost from Nugenix is the world's first and only non-prescription supplement that safely supercharges your body's GH production at night when it naturally occurs. Clinical studies show the ingredients in GH Boost can increase your body's own GH levels more than 100% in just the first 90 minutes. And right now, Nugenix is letting every man in America try a complimentary 2-week sample by texting WATCH to 231231 now. Get GH Boost and get your swagger back at the gym and in the bedroom. It's killing it at GNC, but you can only get your sample by texting WATCH to 231231. That's WATCH to 231231. Text WATCH to 231231.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Yo, welcome back into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour with your very good friend Johnny Radio and my good friend Gabe Kuhn at G_Kuhn71. And now it's time to go fantasy football style at _ just like me. I love the underscore. Jimmy McCormick. He's going to join us. He is the best in the business. He's always balling and shot calling, and I always like to get right to him. And I just want to remind you, he's always brought to you by my good friend at MemphisFarmers.com. That's MemphisFarmers.com. Go to my man, Chad Gatlin. Get a fast quote right now, or give him a call at 901-235-1176. That's 901-235-1176. Check out my friend Chad Gatlin and MemphisFarmers.com. Jimmy, what's up, my brother?
What up?
Dude, did you hear the Lane Kiffin toilet interview yet?
I have not, but I'm in. Now I have to.
Dude, make sure you go do it. It's one of the funny. I don't know why. I just find it so funny when coaches forget that they're in the middle of an interview and then they hit the flush and then they're like, I don't know what to say, and they have that long, awkward pause, and then they try to go back in there and being serious, and I just laugh so hard. Anyway, I'm a child. But now I do have to say one thing. Everybody out there has to get ready because if you don't know, Tennessee and Pittsburgh, they're not going to play this week. They're going to move that bad boy back to week 8, actually. It's what I've heard so far. And that's how it works out for them. It actually works out pretty good. They said it was pretty easy, but this is the first of the COVID shutdown, hopefully the last. But set your team accordingly. No Steelers, no Titans. Make sure you know that. Hit me at 67129. That's 67129. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. And before we get into anything, I just got to ask you this one question because this has been asked repeatedly. This is driving me bananas. Is there a single running back for the Ravens, other than Lamar Jackson, that you can actually trust?
No, you can't trust anybody, but you can. I'm pretty sure you can roster Dobbins as like a stat.
So you like J.K.?
I mean, if anybody's ever going to get the work and they're going to say, "Hey, let's give him 15 to 18 touches," like kind of
going to be
close to what Ingram got last year, it'll be this guy.
Okay.
Whether Ingram gets banged, Ingram would have to get banged up is what I think would have to happen. I can't see him he's just been playing too long. I can't see him disappointing them in the role he's serving, kind of, if that makes sense. He's going to continue to do what he's doing. So if there is an injury, though, with Ingram, I mean, this kid could take off, really take off. I mean, they're just splitting it up 3 ways. So, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, even Gus Edwards gets 20% of the work. So it's just kind of a mess.
All right. Now, I got some weird questions because this is a very deadgum weird season. Do you know that Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow can actually break a record? Either one of them can do it. If one of them do it, no rookie quarterbacks ever started their first 3 straight games in a row and thrown for 300 yards. They can do that. Is Herbert actually kind of good, or is he somebody that you might actually want to grab?
He's really good for fantasy. Well, here's the thing. He's really good for fantasy. But the way that I would meaning he's not good himself yet for fantasy.
Yeah, he's not good, but he gets the yardage, the late, the rushing touchdown. You know what I'm saying?
It operates as a normal volume offense, whereas when Tyrod's in there, it was only a 1-game sample, but it did not run as a normal offense. It ran as an old Buffalo offense, meaning there just wasn't the same dispersal of usage to players. And then you look down with Herbert, and you got 18 targets going to Keenan Allen to 1 game. You got 11. You got Eckler catching 11 of 11. So if you have any investments in the Chargers, you want to play DFS. There's just a much bigger pie, I think, of touches when Herbert plays because I think he's more traditional. Will drop back 50 times, as we've seen. Both those guys, Herbert and Burrow, can sustain fantasy offenses. That's really fun.
Man, that's interesting. And by the way, Burrows to me actually looks like watching him play. That Bengals team stunk. This young man's he's just got it. If you know what I'm saying, I like him. He's got a little moxie too. We're going to see about a bit again, but I think he's actually a pretty good quarterback. As we're like you said. Justin's more of right now the fantasy style. But this is a weird one, man. Chris Carson, I thought was, my goodness, dude. After that nasty, dirty play in Dallas, dude, giving him the freaking gator roll, I thought he might screw up his knee. And they say he's going to have, go in week 4. How much do you trust the news coming out of Seattle? They say he's having an excellent week of practice. Are you starting Chris Carson?
I mean, Pete Carroll says a lot of things.
Yes, he does. That's what I'm saying.
But one is they don't think they have really a true peer. Meaning Hyde is a backup in terms of how he's been, going around the league the last couple of years. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not like a couple of years ago where it was tougher to trust because Rashad Penny was a first-round pick. What I'm trying to say is there's no equity situation here. I think really if Carson's healthy, I think he's the guy is what I'm trying to say. I don't think there's any games going on. it's remarkable. But like in a season that's going to have a lot of uglies, it's okay to have a couple of these good stories too.
Now, just got to understand, how high would you have him? Because, earlier in the week, people actually had, in some services, Carlos Hyde ranked up in, like the 27 area, 28-ish,
Right.
and they had him, outside of the 40. Now he's creeping back up after this announcement. Where would you actually put him? Because I think a lot of people are very confused now. Heck, I had one guy who was like, man, I'm going to go with Darrell Henderson versus the Giants this week. And I'm like, no, don't do that. That's what I was saying. Like, don't do that.
No, I mean, look, like, you got to assume some risk when you're playing fantasy, but all I'm trying to say is, like, they're not saying snap count, they're not saying couple. If they do say those things, then peel back. But, like, it seems like he's going to handle this. He's not a normal dude. You know what I mean? Like, he's just going to show up and play football. So I have him as an RB1. Like, borderline, like he's playing
top
Miami,
12,
right?
Top 12 football, this week. I mean, they are playing the Dolphins, man. I mean,
and I'm not making fun of Miami. Miami's been fine, but the ball's going to go up and down. This Seattle team plays up and down now. I just think, it's and also that's the other concern too, is that, like, it's not like you're talking about Chris Carson getting 25, 30 touches. They have this new kind of faster system. He's going to get 15 to 18 touches, and that's going to be fine.
Yeah, and by the way, Russell Wilson's playing out of his dang mind.
Out of his mind. They finally gave him the keys to the car.
Dude, and DK Metcalf. I mean, heck, other than that stupid, when he, reminded me of Don Beebe in the Super Bowl. Yeah, that was horrible, but things like that can happen. But man, Russell's playing out of his mind, and that long game against the Cowboys, and people saying that they're going to have to fly all the way back against the Dolphins. Chris Carson's a sit. Please, man, I'm playing him now. Would you put him, like, he's around the James Robinson, Miles Sanders, Kenyon Drake area, you would say?
Sure. Yeah, that's the right tier. He's probably like on to the James Robinson side of things, right? Like, where you're like, it's not like true star. Like, Sanders is going to handle plus touches, and Drake. The thing with Drake is, and not to do a side of it, like, Drake's not getting the passing work, which is kind of a shame. That's going to all the wide receivers. Maybe that changes this week with Hopkins hurt. But in any case, he's in that tier. Yeah, Carson's in that tier. He's an RB. Like, I think he's at a borderline RB1. Like, especially when you're taking out guys like Saquon and McCaffrey from the ranks.
Man, I love it. And by the way, like, this is the other one. Man, I love talking running backs, and people are hitting us up at 67129. Keep them coming. Also got some fantasy stuff off the Twitter. You can hit him at _Jimmy McCormick. Is this week, is it even versus the Chicago Bears? Is Jonathan Taylor a top, 10 back?
He's right there. I mean, I don't know how he's probably negligible whether he's like 10 or 12 or 11 or 13. I haven't looked at my exact number for him right now, but it's just workload. Like, how many guys in their respective jobs are going to go out there in the NFL this week and touch it 20 times, and you feel completely confident that the 20 is going to hit? And it's like, he's one of them.
Yep.
He's Jordan Wilkins presents a little bit of rushing competition, not really. Like this is the guy. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's the unquestioned guy. Like, if that ever happened, for example, for Dobbins, he'd be a superstar. In Baltimore. So we'll see what happens. Taylor, I have him there just because of workload. Like, he hasn't even been playing great yet, but just the workload.
Whoa. Another question right off the thing, and then it's the last one, and then I'm going to move over to some wide receivers. And it's the last one. It says Leonard Fournette is out. He's ruled out for week 4.
Couple weeks.
Yep. Oh, is it going to be a couple weeks?
That's the word.
Uh-oh. Well, they're asking, who can I grab? Do you grab his backup? Do you grab, like, who you grabbing? You grabbing Mr. Ronald?
I mean, like,
I doubt he's available, man.
I'm going to guess Rojo's already open.
Yeah.
Look,
Ronald Jones ain't going to be available right now, would he?
No, running back's ugly. Adrian Peterson probably already got scooped. It sounds crazy. It's 2020, Adrian Peterson. But we also have, it's amazing that we have Adrian Peterson and Frank Gore starting football games.
Mm-hmm.
But Peterson's actually playing okay. And, like, even though they drafted Swift for giving him all the work, that's a guy that's, like, widely available. I know at least going into the week, maybe it changed, but in half of leagues, Sony Michel's available. He's never going to be a good yardage guy, but
yeah, that's the truth. Man, what about, like, somebody that's a local from here? What about maybe Antonio Gibson? It looks like he's getting a lot of work in Washington.
Gibson's playing great. If somebody gave up on him, that's a great one. I mean, one, you got Bryce Love hitting IR, which doesn't change his thing, but I'm saying, like, they're not going to shuffle with the backfield. Like, he's part of it, and he looks really good. I mean, he's got 2 touchdowns 2 weeks in a row after a quiet opener. if they ever just said, "Hey, here's the job," I bet he'd be a really fun fantasy star. But I think for now he's kind of a risky flex. But I'd definitely play him. Like, you know, in that case, of all the guys we mentioned, he's, you know, got some potential.
So is Kerryon Johnson pretty much lost his job?
It looks like it. I mean, they don't he doesn't get the snaps. I mean, like I wrote up Adrian Peterson this week for ESPN, like helping out with projections, and I looked up and I was like just checking out all the snap stacks, and it was like, geez, like Kerryon doesn't even see the field. Like
no,
they did not give the ball. No, they did not give the ball to Kerryon. They did not. They literally are giving Adrian Peterson like 2010 attention.
Yeah. Peter, like I still don't understand why. That's why I'm in Peterson. Like, is it just something when he's in that division?
It's he just finds like his agent is great at finding. Eventually, it takes a couple teams each year, but then he finds a team that really wants to play him 20 touches a game. So
if you're Kerryon Johnson and you're DeAndre Swift, what are you saying to yourself when you look at this old man?
I mean, it sounds like, the way DeAndre Swift's playing, he's probably looking like, you know,
he can't catch the ball. What happened to his
hands?
hands?
It looks like he's playing in a big cloud of like vape smoke the way he's playing right now.
Yes, he is, dude. But no, realistically, when he came out, everybody said this guy could do everything, man. I mean, and plus
he's
Georgia.
A Philly kid. I saw him in high school, Swift.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He's from around here. He's really, really good. He's really good. I think I'm actually going to chalk it up to Detroit not knowing what they're doing with this one. Not to give the kid all the credit. Like, I know he might be behind, but it's running back. Like, what does behind a running back mean? You know what I mean? Like, and it's like there's like 3 jobs for him to do, right? And it's like block, route, or run, and they're just not doing a good job. And I'm going to go with the fact that the team that just drafted this kid as like the number 2 running back, and then are playing a guy they signed off the waiver wire.
Man,
so
it's just wild.
It's really
isn't it?
kind of organizational at this point, right? With Detroit, that they're goofy.
They are absolutely nuts, to be honest with you. Now I got to get to over some wide receivers like DeAndre Hopkins. How comfortable are you with him with this ankle injury? They say he's practicing.
If he goes, he goes. I mean, that's the thing. Like the GM and the coach said that down there. Like, he's got the autonomy. Like, if he's ready, he's ready. It's like,
so if he comes in Sunday and they say he's playing. Just even if he had practice, play that bad boy. He's DeAndre bleeping Hopkins, and man, you can tell that
he's also
Watson loves him.
Career.
Yeah. What about Devontae Adams?
Same with him. If he's active, he's active. Like, you know, again, unless there's like some explicit talk about a snap count, and usually guys of this caliber, you're not going to play him. It's that much risk. Like, I don't know. He's awesome. Like, if he's out there, he's out there. Plus,
if he's out there, play
injuries.
him. Now, somebody like Henry Ruggs, you might not do that if he doesn't practice this week. Like, I don't know if I'd throw a guy out there who can't practice all week and he's a rookie. Right?
No, but this is a guy who's just like, go beat your man, here's the ball. Like, it's also just how much of the offense they get. They each get a third of their offense, basically. Like, a whole third of the offense. Just like, here you go.
Man, oh man, it's such a wild one. Now, I got to ask you, is Dak Prescott going to throw for 450 yards again against the Browns?
Probably. He probably doesn't have to, because you can't predict game script, you know, but he probably doesn't have to if Zeke gets a couple off. It might have to be one of those things where you hope they get their eat in the first 2 quarters, maybe third quarter, because it could get over with, you know, like they could just finish it and have that blowout mentality, but who knows? Fitzpatrick makes things interesting. So who knows? We could be looking up at another one of these 38, 35 games in the fourth quarter with Dallas. So, like, I'd be fine with it. These shootouts have been awesome for fantasy. I mean,
man, you ain't lying. By the way, do you think the Browns and the Cowboys go completely nuts? Because they got that total at 56, yo.
These totals this week in general, that total went to 56. There's like a lot of healthy, 53 to 55 point totals this week. It's a really good week for totals in terms of. So I mean, like, the way I would use that. Most weeks, those things stand out. They're outliers. Like 55 is an outlier. This week, it's more like all the numbers are 53 and 52, 53 and a half, whatever. You keep looking through the line. It's healthy. But what I would do is I would then fade the games that are low. I would fade, like, there's a game, the Chicago game? It's like a 43-point total, like something like that. Like, not that I just get out of it no matter what, but if you have a close decision, try to use Vegas to help you that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the other thing is you'll notice that pretty much a lot of the lines are crazy. And last night, the fact that line was set at 42, I laughed and went over as well. Do you know that this year, right now through the first 3 weeks of the season, the over is hit in like at a higher percentage than in any other seasons past?
Wow. Wow. I
So-
mean, I guess I can see that. I would have guessed that offense had the advantage coming into the year. So we'll see.
Yeah, they can't set them high enough. But like you said, you got the 56s, the 54s, the 53s. Man, it's just insane. Now, all right, can Kyler Murray still do something that nobody's ever done since Mike Vick? Rush for a touchdown and throw for a touchdown in a third straight weeks. They're playing the Panthers, man.
Yeah, of course he could. He's been awesome. He's super dynamic, and like how you know he's a fantasy star by this point is that if Hopkins is out, it doesn't really change your mind about what you think about him at all.
All right, real quick, I got to go rapid fire real quick. Odell Beckham Jr., are you playing him this week? And if you are, do you play him over DJ Moore?
I do, and I do play him over DJ Moore. DJ Moore is now experiencing what he did last year, which is like just a ton of underthrown balls.
And, yeah, not on the same page with the quarterback. It's a nightmare. What about Will Fuller and Robbie Anderson? Man, a lot of Carolina questions.
That's tough because Robbie Anderson's been productive, but I actually think Fuller is back to getting the ball, and like he should be okay. So as long as we hear he's okay, I'm going Fuller.
And if something does happen, Hopkins goes out, that does help out Fuller's value. By the way, I would think at least. And how because Joe Burrow is AJ Green literally back.
He's not. He's
not back
that
playing
well.
it. Well, he's not playing that well. What I'm saying is, like, can you expect it coming down the road? Like, it's about to hit.
I do think he gets better. I do think he gets better. I would wonder with the break, like the break. Also, like how, this is basically his like training camp still. Like he hasn't played football in a long, long time. So
that's what I was thinking. He hadn't got a ton of targets yet. I think, though, but I'm telling you, before the end of the year, we're going to be looking back, and some people who've been like getting rid of AJ Green on the fly are going to look back in the end of this year, and he's going to have 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, I would tell you this much: if you're just looking at usage, if you're just saying like who's getting a lot of work that's not producing yet, but should, the meaning like who's due, he's one of them. He's getting a ton of targets.
Man, it's crazy. And then last but not least, are you going with CD Lamb in DFS or Jarvis Landry?
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one, man. That dead-come Dallas Brown game.
I'm going to go with Lamb because I just think there's a lot more in that offense. I mean, he hasn't like popped yet, kind of do, and the Miami secondary is already beat up. Like, so I can go with that.
Oh, last but not least, I'm so sorry. One more person just came in and got in another break. It says, "Are you ready to give up on T.Y. Hilton?"
Oh man, that's tough. It's really been weird. It's like he had 15 straight games now or something like that without 100 yards. It's like a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while now. I'm ready to pull the plug. To tell you the truth, if you can find somebody in your league who values him, trade.
If somebody values him a little bit, I'd probably take the cash. Yeah.
Yeah, take that cash, homie. By the way, he's at _Jimmy McCormick. Straight cash, homie. He's the best in the business. He joins me every single Friday at 1:30. I appreciate it so much, Jim. You be blessed and have a great weekend, my friend.
Take care, boss. Thank you.
Thank you. That's my buddy, Jimmy McCormick. I'm late for a break. Never forget Chad Gatlin, MemphisFarmers.com. Go get you a fast quote. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wallo and Stats. Weekday afternoons from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Fiveash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Fiveash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
If you're going on vacation vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day, group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
In today's world, a lot is going on, but one thing is always true. You need to take care of yourself. The skin clinics can help. Age, diet, genetics, and current events can conspire to make you look and feel much older than you are. It doesn't have to be that way. Call the skin clinics and let their expertly trained nurses, estheticians, and staff choose the treatment that best suits you and your pocket. There's so much you can do. Consider skin resurfacing and rejuvenation, lash extensions and specialty brows, injectables, medical-grade chemical peels, laser hair reduction, waxing, facials, makeup applications, and even services just for men. The Skin Clinics has it all in a caring, safe environment, always observing current social distancing guidelines. Go to theskinclinic.com to find out more and call today for your appointment at 901-345-SKIN. That's 901-345-SKIN. Taking care of yourself is good for you and your loved ones. Come to the Skin Clinics, 1300 Wolf Park Drive in Germantown.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Yo, what's up? It's Friday, everybody, on Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm Johnny Radio. That's Gabe Kuhn. And guess what we're doing? We're rocking, we're firing. And guess who's rocking and fire? Sixto Sanchez and Yu Darvish. Miami, Chicago, bottom of the third, 0-0. We got some baseball today. We got some baseball tonight. San Diego, the Cardinals. Cardinals blew a 4-run lead. First time. It was their 45th postseason game that they had the lead by 4. It's the first time in 45 games that they blew a 4-run lead in a postseason game. Isn't that pretty impressive, though? First time ever. I mean, the fact that you played in 45 games in the postseason and had a 4-run lead 45 times. It's pretty good. Pretty good. But they did blow it last night. But Flaherty's on the mound today at 6 o'clock. I like it. Now, Jimmy Buckets. He says he don't be expecting this to be a pushover. Heater coming out there to win the game 2 without Bam probably and definitely without Goron. Like, dude, I'm sorry. You know what plantar fascia
Look,
does.
man,
like,
Jimmy's a fighter. I'll give him that.
Hey,
but I'm going to tell you this right now. Look, man. You ain't winning. Like, you ain't.
Especially after what Kyrie
Have you seen
said.
what the line did,
Dude,
by the
if
way?
You're Jimmy Buckets, are you calling
After those
Kyrie
injuries?
saying, yeah, dude, do you not remember I told you
Lord.
what it went to?
10 now.
No,
So-
also with the money line.
Money line went
from
to
3 to 500.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I'm glad I got that John in.
It's wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
He's a fighter, but look, man, it's you have to overcome a whole lot.
And don't you also think Kyrie's comments couldn't have hurt the Heat anymore? Like, couldn't have come at a worse time? Now, I got to ask you a question. What just happened that you noticed?
Are you talking about with the Jets, right?
Yeah.
We talked earlier in the show, and I brought up the fact that Adam Gase has been an embarrassment to that franchise, and also he hasn't taken care of his players.
Not at all.
The injuries continue to come for him. Le'Veon Bell was the first strike. Mekhi Becton, second strike. Now, Adam Gase tells reporters this morning in his media availability that Sam Darnold could miss time with the shoulder sprain that he played through last night.
Let me just tell you a little secret. He's an idiot. Woody Johnson, the general manager has to be in his office and say, Woody, the blow can't be worth it. Your whole life and the whole team is going down the toilet.
At this point, there is nothing good that can come out of keeping Adam Gase employed, and I will say that with confidence. I really do. He is embarrassing that franchise. He's hurting their best players. He's hurting their investments, and he needs to go.
I agree so much. It's not even funny. Adam Gase is just as lost as anybody I've ever seen. But you know who's not lost? He's Lee Sterling. He's up next on Sports 56 98.5. Get ready for college football and NFL gambling action because it's next.
Cloudbursts, thunder in your ear. You shout, no one seems to hear.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levy Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking, no telephone pole to get in your way, a cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
A good friend of mine often says that golfers are the best athletes. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. Now, I don't want to embarrass Ed by mentioning his name, but if you stop and think about it, he may be right. Just like the best real estate agent may not be who you think. Like a left tackle in football, a golfer hits it hard off the tee. Like a sprinter, the golfer walks down the fairway to reach his ball. Then like a quarterback who wants to connect with a distant target, the golfer hits the ball again, and in my case, again and again and again. So if you or someone you know is thinking of selling a home, draft your team by interviewing the players. Find out who will block that offensive lineman from knocking your deal down. And find out about the Shell Bucks option play. When interviewing, call or email me to find out why people often say, when you want the job done, call Shell Done. You can reach me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now and don't fumble that ball.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I want to invite you to come by the Spirit Shop. You know, that little log cabin on Poplar, your liquor and wine oasis. The Spirit Shop has been providing sports fans their beverage needs since way back in 1969. So come in now and get ready for the big game. Whether your favorite team wins or loses, the Spirit Shop will help you celebrate or ease that pain away. The Spirit Shop is open every day, and they're located perfectly at 4848 Poplar. That's the corner of Poplar and St. Nick.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter finds the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists.
And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You know what sounds good? Fresh sandwiches and salads, homemade soups and desserts. And you know where to find all this delicious food? Paradise Cafe at Poplar and Ridgeway in the Regalia Shopping Center. The name says it all. Paradise Cafe makes their food fresh. Salads, sandwiches, cookies, and brownies. Hand-selected fruit, pimento cheese, even 4 kinds of chicken salad. The homemade soups change daily. They're said to be the best in the city. Try the signature turkey burger on ciabatta or shrimp salad on a croissant. Then top it off with a low-fat shake. Paradise Cafe has 11 kinds. Paradise Cafe, open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 to 2:30. Observing current social distancing guidelines with patio seating. Curbside pickup and delivery are also available. Fresh and homemade for you. That's Paradise Cafe in the heart of East Memphis at Poplar and Ridgeway inside the Regalia Shopping Center. You know what sounds good? Paradise Cafe.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, WPGFLP Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Welcome into Little Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good buddy Johnny Radio. We're about to go to a little gambling town. Lee Sterling's going to join us, Paramount Sports. We're going to have a lot of fun, but guess what? Six-toe Sanchez. No, not Dirty Sanchez. Six-toe Sanchez and Yu Darvish. Oh, my goodness. They're in a pitcher's duel. Top of the fourth, 0-0 Miami and the Chicago Cubs in a little playoff baseball. But it is time to talk with my very good friend, Lee Sterling. What's up? What's up? We're about to go to him now. And it is the man, the myth, the living legend. It is Lee Sterling. How's my good friend doing?
Great. I'm going to get in contact with you. I'm going to text you over in about 2 hours. We're going to release our UFC card. Got some fights I love for this weekend, Johnny. I don't know if you know this. I got signed. I'm actually doing a podcast every single week.
No, I didn't.
For MMA Weekly. You know, they've got, I think, over 500,000 YouTube subscribers. So can check that out. I'm going to send you a copy of what we're doing. So they picked up, I guess, they'd seen me somehow, and they found out about me and saw we were winning. So every week, anyone who's out there listening can check out, they go to MMA Weekly, the weekly podcast, and I think it's called, let me give you the name of it. They call it, for this week, whoever's fighting, it's a UFC Fight Island for Home versus Aldana. It's the odds breakdown. So if you type in MMA Weekly odds breakdown, you'll find it.
MMA Weekly odds breakdown. I got that bad boy. That's going to be fun. And I love also watching the videos at ParamountSports.com.
Oh, this is even, you got 25 minutes of videos here. And we decided to make it under 30 minutes. People don't want to listen to 30 minutes.
No, they don't.
I mean, for an hour. I mean, an hour of fight
they want to
breaks
listen to about, a half hour is very digestible.
That's it. We're 22 to 25 minutes.
That's perfect. And by the way, also don't forget ParamountSports.com breaks down the games you want. You don't have to listen to every single game. You can go by, click through his videos, pick the dead gum game you want to hear. Also get the service. It's unbelievable. Paramount Sports is the place to go. Lee Sterling is the man to follow, and he has been on fire in UFC. And I also got to remind y'all, he's got some picks today. We got SEC football back week 1. Oh, my goodness. We got to talk Memphis. They're finally back. And we got a little NFL action to talk about as well. So I was wondering, are you ready to get rocking and rolling?
Let's do it. I just sent it to you, so you should be able to get it. And I'm going to also tweet it out. And people like the UFC, we've won 18 out of 22 cards.
Dude, 18 out of 22 cards. I have to say that's ridiculously good. And I'm going to say I know that you're doing good because I've been with you for a while, for a long 100. But the one thing is also want to give out to everybody before we get started, because I know a lot of people might not have a computer handy, but put 800-400-9741. That's 800-400-9741. The call-in service is absolutely out of control. ParamountSports.com. Great information. And now you can also go to MMA Weekly odds breakdown. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait. But Lee, You ready to get some action?
Let's do it.
Man, my Tigers are back, my friend. They're on the road to SMU, and I'm not going to lie. I am, let's just say, I'm a little bit nervous. Dude, Shane Buechele can throw the bleep out of that ball, but Brady White did make me feel a little bit better. He said, I don't care if we're playing against our moms. If they're lined up against us in another uniform, we're whipping their you-know-what. So, both quarterbacks got some moxie. Who you got in this game?
So I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I mean, this is going to be like some of the past great games. Memphis 6-0, last 6 in the series, and a couple of them been close and nail-biters. Here's a scouting report on SMU. They have 2 really good backs. I think better than last year's backs. Ulysses Bentley the fourth. This guy is averaging. He
sounds doesn't he sound like a Civil War general?
Yeah. So he is dynamic. He's their home run hitter. He averages 10.6 yards per carry. And then they got another running back, T.J. McDaniel, who's gained 293 yards. But the guy to look out for is a junior college transfer named Danny Gray. Comes from a Texas junior college, averaging 19.5 yards per catch. He's labeled by his coach the fastest receiver he's ever seen. So not a small guy either. They still, though, have so many question marks on their defensive front seven. I just can't trust them here. I'll take White over Buechele. Memphis 45-40.
Oh, that makes me feel so dead gum good. I'm not going to lie. I like it. That sounds like it's going to be a fun game, though, right there.
It should be.
Now, JT Daniels is actually going to be able to play this week for Georgia. Stetson Bennett stepped in and actually threw some touchdowns because they had to go through a few quarterbacks before they got to him and figured out, okay, at least he can throw the dang gumball. I mean, it was horrible. Georgia in the first half against Arkansas was an embarrassment. Now they're going to be playing Auburn. And, dude, Auburn has got a wide receiver. I haven't seen Auburn have a big, tall weapon.
Talking about Seth Williams or Eli Stove?
Dude,
Seth Williams?
Dude, are you kidding me? Did you see how the man can get up? He's big. You just throw it high, and he will go up and get it over anybody.
And he gets separation, and he catches it. To do all 3 things is pretty tough. He's special. Eli Stove's good.
And by the way, Eli Stove being their because I think he's the second receiver because I think Seth Williams might be the best receiver I've seen so far in this early season.
Yeah, he looks really good. And that's important in the red zone because I think points are going to be at a premium here. The problem with Georgia is, I mean, their rebuilt offensive line doesn't look great. They only ran for 2.9 yards per carry against Arkansas. They're losing 7-5, and in the middle of the third quarter, Felipe Franks pick 6. Arkansas gets a punt blocked, and I think it's like a 2-play touchdown. And then after that, another interception, 21 points before you could bat an eye, and turned it from a close game into a rout. So I don't think either team is a top 10 team right now. They might end up being top 10, but not right now. So also, you look at Auburn, that call that they didn't call a touchdown right before the half when Kentucky ran the ball in, that was criminal.
I thought it was criminal. He was across. It was easy. They showed the top, and you see him across, and they don't give it. And then the pick 6, that wasn't. It was almost like, oh.
Kentucky, the wind, after the second half, they had nothing left in their sails. And you would never see that happen to Auburn against Kentucky. It always happens to Kentucky against Auburn. They always deny the team that they don't think is going to, have a really good season. Just the way it goes, and it's unfortunate. I feel bad for the kids, but Auburn does have quarterback Bo Nix. He'll keep them in games, and I think they're going to start JT Daniels. I'm hearing he got most of the snaps for
I was
during the
wondering
week.
if they were going to go to Bennett, who threw 2 touchdowns in the second half, or they were going to go.
He looked better.
But
he did
JT
look better
Daniels,
than what,
don't you feel like he's
than-
got to have some rust because it's still been a while since JT's played.
Yeah, and it's a new. He's playing with totally new offense, new teammates. I think Georgia will find a way to come from behind and win 23-20, but I'm taking the 6.5 in Auburn.
Ooh,
Yep.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's the one I like Auburn in the points myself too. Now I have to ask you because this game for me smells very much fear because it looks like so easy. You watch, Kentucky last week. They would have beaten Auburn, like you said, if they give them that touchdown. Why are they only
or it's a one touchdown game?
Yeah, or well, at least they come out of the locker room and they get the ball back after the kickoff. They're still fired up. I mean, heck, Terry Wilson and all them, they look like they were just like at that right before the half that somebody. Never mind, I don't want to say that, but that something bad happened. But now Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin and you've heard the toilet flush gate, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Oh, it's so funny. I'm gonna play it right when you get off. I can't wait. But Ole Miss. They can score. They got them a quarterback, but that's the worst defense I've seen in the SEC since the 80s when Kentucky had some really bad defenses.
Right. So here's what I see in this game. Ole Miss's offense has more balance. I think choosing Corral as a quarterback was the right move, but it's going to leave their defense on the field early and often. And Kentucky's offensive and defensive line just far superior to Ole Miss. And the skill players on both teams maybe about the same.
About the same.
Ole Miss, they had 5 returning starters on defense. If you didn't know it, you would think they had to replace all 12. They're just non-competitive on defense, and usually the team that has the weakest unit, they get exposed. I like Kentucky. They're just going to beat up on Mississippi 35-25.
Thank you. I just needed somebody to tell me that because I'm looking at this.
A lot of people like Ole Miss in that game.
Man, I can't believe that. I just don't. I mean, unless this thing is somehow just. I think Kentucky, after what happened with Auburn, is going to just freak.
Here, I'm going to give you the only concern I have. The only concern I have for Kentucky is they're up 10 or 11 or 12 points, and Stoops sometimes just to win the game. He will go in the Wildcat, and he'll run the ball 8 or 10 times in a row.
And then punt it, and then, get the backdoor cover. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Now, one of the easiest games, I think, also has to do with the state of Mississippi as well. KJ Costello. And by the way, man, Mike Leach, you better wear that mask. I don't know if you heard Greg Sankey. He's going to start fining you or something. I don't know how it's going to work, but you better wear your mask. But, man, Mike Leach – Mississippi State, they're at home. You just go out there and, you shock the entire world. You beat the defending national champions. I know that they're all in the NFL, actually. And, by the way, man, my man Miles Brennan with that, workout with wood, that was weird. They have a very nice workout facility in Baton Rouge. You might want to use it next time. But, dude, LSU looked horrible. But was that more of the fact they didn't have, Stingley, they've lost so many people, or is Mississippi State that nasty?
I think it's a combination. I think it's going to take LSU some time to bring things together. It's not how you start, it's how you end up. And LSU might be one of these teams that by midseason, they're a lot better than what they are now. Mm-hmm. But Mississippi State is one of these teams. I think they're going to play almost like his teams at Texas Tech and Washington State. As an underdog, they're great, but as a big home favorite, just not very good. Let's be honest about what's going on with this team. So they're laying 17.5 points here. Now Arkansas could gift wrap them the game, but his teams a lot of times as favorites, they just don't look interested. I've seen them lose. To Arizona.
Dude, remember Washington State when they had a chance to win the Degum division? They came out so flat, and I'm like, what the bleep is going on? And I don't even think they scored 10 points. I can't remember who they were playing that game, but it was embarrassing.
Here's the key for Arkansas. I think they're going to realize they need to run the football and use play action. And Rakeem Boyd is their bell cow. He's their guy, and they didn't use him enough last week. I think Mississippi State's going to win this game. Something like 35-24, but I'm taking Arkansas here in the points.
Man, I like it. Now, also have to ask you another quick thing that I like, the National Football League. It's been great this year. The totals are going over left and right, but I ain't talking totals. And if you want to get some totals, call them this week, 800-400-9741. But we got Seattle and Miami. Seattle's flying all the way across the country. They played that long game against Dallas. Miami played last Thursday against Jacksonville. They're in Miami. It's going to be hot. Seattle's laying 6.5. Who do you like?
Yeah, 89 degrees. That's the forecast at kickoff. It has been hot here in Miami. There is no way they're ready for this heat. They're playing at 1 Eastern, which is 10 a.m. Seattle time. These guys are not going to be ready. And Miami is an underrated, receiving core with Devontae Parker and Williams, the kid from Colorado State. He's finally almost a year removed from his ACL surgery. Gesicki, tight end, very underrated. They have a young offensive line.
He looks good. And by the way, let's be real. Like Fitzmagic looks like he's got command of that offense, doesn't he?
He's got command. The young kids love him. They go out. He invites them over. It's just there's something about the guy. He's infectious, and they wanna play for him. And the coaches love him. And the first 2 games didn't go well, but in the third game, they started to come together against Jacksonville. First 3 drives, right down the field, touchdown. I think they're going to give Seattle problems. How about this? Seattle has only forced teams in 3 games to punt 5 times. Give me Miami. They pull off the upset. Wrong team's favored, 28-27.
I love it. I love it. Get the game of the week, Alabama -17 versus A&M, but you got to call 800-400-9741. Plus, there's a great UFC card. Go to ParamountSports.com, and don't forget, he's got some MMA going on. Yep. And I got to ask you one quick question before I also plug the MMA Weekly Odds Breakdown. What in the heck do they got? What are they going to get this week at 800-400-9741?
So we're going to give them a free game on Alabama A&M. First 10 callers. And then how about this? Most people call this month October. At Paramount Sports, we call it Locktober. You can get 5 weeks until the day before the election. All you think about is football for 5 weeks. Normally it's $100 a week if you use coupon code SAVE300. We've had some $100, save $200 coupons, never save $300. You can get 5 weeks for $197. That works out to $40 a week. How do you get it? ParamountSports.com, $197 for 5 weeks. Coupon code SAVE300 or call 800-400-9741. Start winning today.
Lee, get out there. I know you got another show to do. I appreciate you, my brother.
Thanks, buddy.
That's my friend Lee Sterling, 800-400-9741. He ain't no joke. And again, it's Locktober. First 10 callers get the Alabama A&M game absolutely free. And use the coupon SAVE300 when you go to Paramount Sports. And for all you fighters, MMA Weekly Odds Breakdown. Now, me and Gabe are getting ready to have a little bit of fun because after we get serious, we get our juices flowing. Maybe I drank a lot of coffee. Anyway, can I listen to Lane Kiffin?
I hear a line open. Kyle Campbell or Coach Kiffin, is that you?
Yep.
Hey, Coach. Good morning. Thanks for being with us. While we wait on questions, you take a minute to comment on your team as you prepare for the Kentucky game.
Well, challenged with playing a really good team that's very physical and it runs the ball really well and played great defense last year and in the first game and limit explosive plays and.
This is Access Hardinwood.
I've heard it 40 times. I've laughed every time. I can see him in there. Hey, Coach, give us
limit explosive plays.
And you know what I wonder because what it sounded like, it was one of those automatic ones where he just leaned too far forward and thought somebody got up and auto flushed on him. Like he was at the facility,
those ones make me so mad, though.
He was sitting there like, dead gummit, dude. The auto flush just got me, man. I was just leaning forward like, oh, this smells horrible. Let me get a little farther towards the front. I don't know. Lane Kiffin, man, I'm so glad you're in the SEC. And I'm just glad I'm through.
You are like, I don't know. I mean, anytime a fart joke or a poop joke comes up, you lose it.
I'm a perpetual child.
How old are you?
At heart? I don't want to talk at heart, like 7. Now, okay, I got to get back to some normal stuff because I'm going to start crying. Have you seen Peyton Manning's nephew? Or have you heard about this?
Are you talking about Arch?
Yes, first game. You
Stud.
know what he did?
No, I didn't see the stats.
Season opener. He's a sophomore, by the way. 6 touchdowns, 41-0. Not bad. 6 dimes in his sophomore debut. Get the heck out of here. 260 yards, 5 touchdowns. On just 6 touchdown passes on 13 completions. I'm kind of wondering how good the competition was, but I don't care if you're playing against Air. Man, you go out there and play your own scout team. You put up 6 touchdowns on your scout team. That's not bad. What a heck of a night. He also, by the way, ran for a touchdown. He's not bad. So is he going to be, my question for you actually is Cooper Manning's kid going to be the next Manning we see in big-time SEC football? I'm not going to NFL
here's the thing.
Here's
the thing. Based on where he is as a recruit, no doubt he'll be an SEC football player. And not to mention, I bet, and here's the thing, the reason he's probably doing so well at the high school level is he's been taught probably pro and college concepts already at a young age. You got two uncles and a great, what would you call that? Great uncle?
I guess.
What would Archie be to him?
Man, you're making me think of family dynamics.
That would be great uncle, correct?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never gone to Ancestry.com,
great uncle.
Okay?
That's your great uncle. That's definitely your great uncle.
Sounds
but either
good.
way, you have 3 people in your family
You're
who
related.
have played at a ridiculously high level.
Yeah, like I'd almost like, they're great uncle. Or no, aren't they just your uncle? Well,
No,
your uncles.
Peyton and Eli are uncles, and then Archie would have to be the great uncle, right?
Oh,
that's
yeah,
how that
Archie's
works.
The great
yeah,
uncle. Okay. Or
Yeah.
no, I don't know, man. Well, he's a great.
Or no,
granddad.
he's a granddad. What am I
Yeah,
talking?
that's
I'm
what
a
I'm saying.
dummy.
You're making
I'm
me
a
really-
dummy. I'm
like,
a dummy.
The whole
Oh
thing with
gosh.
you taking him to a
I'm an
the grandfather
idiot.
thing. I couldn't. I was
How
losing
did
my
you?
mind.
How did you not call me on that immediately? I'm an idiot.
Can I just tell you something? Do you know why?
Oh my gosh.
Because you were bringing up
What's
something
wrong
that
with
you
me?
seemed so
Grandfather.
convinced.
It's his
I was
grandfather.
looking at you going, man, I've never even heard of these family dynamics, man.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, Arch is.
Everybody
he's the
makes
patriarch
mistakes.
of
It
the
happens.
family.
It happens. But grandfather.
Yeah.
His
We got there.
grandfather and his 2 uncles.
Hey, dude, I made many mistakes. I do it every day. Speaking of mistakes,
Justin Hebert.
hey, yes, I do it all the time. And I did get him a Herbert today. Weren't you proud of me? I had to make sure. Do you know I almost pause every time I say his name? Justin, like Lane Kiffin, without the flush.
They have an explosive running game.
Herbert. Now I got to mention this. Please remember how excited I was about the Conor McGregor strut that Trevor Bauer did?
Yeah.
Dude, did you see how cool Ronald Acuna Jr. is?
How cool is it?
Well, it's cool for 2 reasons.
Well, I mean, he sent him home. So.
He said, did you see his tweet, go home? Did you see who he put in the tweet? It's Mark Gasol doing the strut. He says, go home, laughing with tears, and he's got actually Mark Gasol like doing the strut, and then he starts like.
No, it's
leaping
interesting to
down
me, and I know Trevor Bauer pitched a hell of a game.
He pitched a hell of a game.
But he posted a video of him striking out all their batters. But it's like, dude, you guys lost in 2 games.
He has. You noticed? Did you see his? Okay, so did you see his? His cleats. TrevorBauer.com. Did you see? Even after they lost the post game, what his shirt said? Help me get to like 100,000 users at TrevorBauer.com. Like, dude is a very much of a, let's just say, self-promoter. He's a different breed of a man. Like.
And then Fernando Tatis flips his bat, and that's all they can talk about.
Well, this is where I was about. How did you know that's where I was going?
Because, man, it's just so painfully ridiculous how some of the analysts that cover the MLB get so hypocritical about these things.
Okay.
I don't understand. They don't say anything about Trevor Bauer because I guess maybe they expect it from him. But as soon as Fernando Tatis flips his bat, as soon as Marcelo Zuna flips his bat,
well, can I
it's
do
like
something?
they have
I
something
wanna
to
take
say.
it. They always have something to say because they're old, grumpy men who want to whine and complain about something. Because, by the way, when you go see, no offense, I love my grandparents. My grandparents are different. Meemaw especially, she's an angel. But a lot of old people, have you noticed, all they do is complain? Like, when you go by and see, like your great-grandmother, you, like, go see her, and she's like, you need to cut your hair. Your pants are too long. You're fat. Thanks, Granny. It's good to see you. That's kind of like, that's that situation, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, I got to say about the bat flip, I want to do this right before I get off. I want to rate the bat flips. What are you probably don't have these on mind, but I pulled up number 1. My all-time most memorable bat flip is Jose Bautista, 2015 in the ALDS, when he he threw it up and far. It was like it's the longest bat flip I've ever seen in baseball history. Now, it also led to the when he got in a fight with Mr. Odor for the Rangers. That was awesome too. So I kind of like that. Now, number 2, you won't even believe this, but it's got to be, I think, Manny Ramirez, 2007 ALDS. He hit a walk-off granny. You know what I'm saying? In Boston, like over the monster. And then do you remember what he did? He just stuck his hands up in the air and stood in the box for a minute and watched it till it left. And then he trounced the bases, flips back, then trounced the bases. And then do you remember when he got pounced on at home plate in that celebration? That's another one that jumps out at me. And then this one doesn't jump out at me. The next one, Bryce Harper, jumps out at me because I forgot to mention that one. 2017. I've never seen anybody actually take more criticism than Bryce Harper. It was crazy. They also even made fun of him for having the dude take off his helmet and then do the hair thing. I'm like, dude, he's a baseball player. Chill out. It's fun for us. We like this, but this is for all you old fogies. I went and found this. There's a guy named Tom Lawless for the Cardinals, 1987 World Series. He hit 4 home runs in his career. One of them came in a World Series. He might have had the longest bat flip I've ever seen, and I've never heard anybody bust Tom Lawless for this. You see what I'm saying? So don't tell me you didn't have it back in the 1987 World Series. So, come on, dude. It's just a little flavor. The Tatis thing was cool. But whatever you do right now, don't you dare touch that dial. Alex Kuhn is coming up next. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage. Factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Try Vicks VapoCool Drops in Honey Lemon Chill for a fast-acting relief of Honey Lemon. Not to mention a soothing chill. So remember, Vicks VapoCool Drops are Honey Lemon and Honey Lemon. Yeah, Honey Lemon Chill. Get fast-acting relief with Vicks VapoCool Drops in Honey Lemon Chill. Use as directed.
Hi, this is Troy Fivesh, owner of Fivesh Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Fivesh Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Fivesh Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fivesh Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Family Leisure's done it again. We're talking about the world's biggest spa sale. Up to 30% off on spas and swim spas. Choose from hundreds of different spas from multiple manufacturers. There is special financing available, and if you are in the market, special pricing now as summer starts to dwindle on chemicals and accessories. Always professional delivery available. The spas are going crazy at Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road.
folks, good news for bargain hunters and bandits from the Chevy Sheriff in Collierville. It's Western Trading Days at Sunrise Chevy. Over 500 Chevys and used cars in stock just in time for the Sunrise Low Price Rodeo. Factory rebates up to $7,500. Sunrise discounts high as $8,000. And don't forget, Sunrise specializes in secondary financing. Need a good body shop? Bring it to Sunrise. We work on all makes and models. Remember, you can bring your Chevy to Sunrise for service no matter where you bought it. Buy American and buy from Sunrise. Find new roads to the Sunrise Chevy Ranch. 385 in Houston Levy and Collierville. Chevy's cost less at Sunrise, partner.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here. Kick it.
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Gold and shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train.
Man, listen to that whistle, baby. It's Friday. We got games on. We got games on now. Miami, Chicago, in a pitcher's duel. Sixto Sanchez, Yu Darvish. Miami, Chicago, top of the fifth, 0-0. We also got now Alex Kuhn, who's about to join us. That's right. Gabe's brother, that is true. But he's also a journalist, and he's big time. Now, let's not play no games now. Now, the one thing that I am going to ask him, though, is it a bro or a man's ear? Because we are hard-hitting journalists here, and I'm very serious. I need to know this because these are the hard-hitting questions that we got to hit. Alex, is it a bro or a man's ear?
I see. I like both of them. I'm gonna go with a bro.
Yes,
it's a man's ear.
2-1.
Dude.
He gave
it's a
the man's ear. I'm so happy.
It's also it is a man's ear. Like I don't know.
The reason it is a man's ear to me is because Jerry Stiller, obviously, who coined that term in Seinfeld, he's passed. So I think it's the way to honor him.
I kind of actually like that.
And he passed this year.
I like it. 2020, it'll be a man's hero.
Couple months.
2020, it's
so that's kind of unfair. I sprung that on you. Why? My reasoning. So you can't beat that reasoning, can you?
That's a great. Actually, you never told me that. So that's kind of that's unfair.
Is it a bra or a brassiere?
But it's a man. But like when it's a, I don't know.
I've never thought about that. You know what? Your brother kind of just got you right there.
No, but it is both. Technically, if we want to be technical.
Well, we're gonna honor Jerry. Or
it's a man's ear. Jerry Stiller.
Jerry Stiller. Yeah, we're gonna honor him. It's a man's ear for this year, and then I'm gonna go back to calling it a bro. But now, speaking of bros, I got your bro on the show right now, Alex Kuhn. By the way, Alex is man, what part of the country? You aren't in St. Louis still, are you?
No,
I am still in St. Louis.
Whoa.
So get this, John. I don't know. So my dad obviously had his little COVID. Not little. I say he had a COVID battle. What was that? A couple weeks ago, he got out of quarantine, right, Alan? And all y'all were sort of in quarantine there for a while.
Yep.
He actually had a story written about him this morning in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch about so St. Louis counties, their restrictions, and they gave him this letter saying, "Hey, you're good to go. Get out of quarantine." And they're just like, we hope your symptoms are gone. Get out of quarantine, basically.
Well, the funniest part about it. The funniest part about it is they said they dated the letter September 19th. They're like, all right, September 19th, you're good to go. You're good to get out of quarantine. He got the letter on September 25th.
And all it said, it didn't say if you're experiencing symptoms, stay inside. It said, we hope your symptoms are gone. It wasn't about, okay, if you have symptoms, if you have a sore throat, stay inside, stay in quarantine. It was, all right, you're good to go.
Man, well, I have to say, KGYM Radio is where my man usually at. He's at Eastern Iowa. That's where his home is. But right now he's in St. Louis. We know a lot of people are affected by this. The Titans and the Steelers are affected by this. But we found out that the Vikings and Texas game, after another clean round of COVID tests, they're going to be able to play. I want to know, Alex, how impressed are you with the NFL to so far only have one game, and it's going to be week 4 this Sunday?
Yeah, you knew that this was going to happen. I think all of us did. And we were wondering how the NFL was going to respond to it because we saw what happened in Major League Baseball and how that went. And that was early in the season with the Marlins and the Cardinals, who are both still playing in the playoffs, are both playing in the playoffs right now.
Yep.
And it didn't go well. And it forced them, it held their season back for, I would say, a good 2/3 of the season, where I think at that point a lot of people kind of not necessarily tuned out, but took the season less seriously, because all of a sudden you have the Cardinals playing 10 less games than everybody else,
and they played 53 games in 44 days.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're playing all these 7-inning doubleheaders, and they're in the playoffs now. The Marlins the same way, and Major League Baseball just had to completely come up with new guidelines on the fly. And now the NFL, you knew this was going to happen. You knew that they were going to have some infections, and I asked the big question. It was the Viking or the Titans or the Vikings, correct? Where they had 2 or 3 infections right away, and then it got to about 8, but they were able to keep it from getting like it did in the Memphis football locker room where it got to 25 or 40. And I'm not picking on Memphis.
No,
this is the problem.
Just a fact. I mean, right now the Vikings are on track to actually play this Texas.
Heck, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
They struggled.
Right,
They're struggling right now.
If you don't have the capability to test every day and try to stay ahead of this and catch the virus before it spreads to the entire locker room, you're gonna have those problems. It's a lot of people call it viral gravity. It's gonna happen. So for the NFL, they caught it early. Yes, they're gonna have to alter their schedule a little bit, and I will say the first test that got thrown at them, they passed.
Me too.
But it'll be interesting to see if there's another one thrown at them.
I think it's almost inevitable that they're going to have a test thrown at them, to the extent that they've had the Titans, where they have basically 2 tests happening, 2 more positive tests happening every day. I don't know if it'll be like that, right?
Sorry.
But I just find it impressive that they've been able to do this without a bubble. Like they have been
traveling across the country.
Right, been relatively unscathed until now, and I don't really see what's happening with the Titans as a ridiculous outbreak like we've seen in college. Because again, you brought up Memphis. There was 42 active cases at one point. With Notre Dame, there's 18 active cases, positive cases. So like with the NFL, the fact that we have 8 the first time it comes out, like that seems like a huge win, like a massive win. And I don't know if it's because they're holding people accountable that don't. I know they are for sure, what they've done to John Gruden and finding him,
the heck out of him.
What they've said with if you're a repeat offender, we might take away draft picks. Again, I think these type of things deter people from doing it. Where at the college level, you can't do it to that extent. You cannot punish people the way you should be able to.
And you other than the Big Ten, nobody up until this point has been able to test people every single day with the rapid tests and get ahead of it that way. Where you saw the SEC, it's like they were being tested 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
And we understand, and once again, I have to give a sort of condolences to all of the staff at the University of Memphis, the sports information staff who do an unbelievable job, but it's just the nature of what is happening in these athletic departments. Do you think these athletic departments can afford to have testing every single day by themselves?
Nope. And by the way, we do have to mention, because it's been just a nightmare at the University. Tammy, Phil had to he didn't get fired, but he stepped down because the whole SID, the Sports Information Office, is more or less gone at this moment, and it's another casualty of this pandemic. And it's
sports information departments.
Yeah, they just got an award for the work they've done. It's just we haven't even mentioned it today, but. It's so sad. It's
depressing.
It really is.
I really hate talking about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. When they sent out, when I got the, when you get the what was it?
The little press release.
The press release that I get in my email every day from everybody and their grandmother. When I'm looking through them, and when I saw that one, like you just stopped and you're like I just honestly
it breaks your heart.
It just, you feel sick because you know these people and they work their tails off and they got families, and some of these people moved here and been here from other places for 5-7 years, and it just it's just sad. But anyway, that's the way COVID is. I mean, you got the airlines struggling, all kinds of people are struggling, but football And the NFL, I think, has done such a fabulous job. And I don't usually give Roger Goodell and the National Football League a whole lot of love when it comes to taking care of their players. Look at how they hid concussions and CTE. They've shot them up so many times with Toradol, giving them opioids. I mean, it's been a kind of a little bit of a nightmare for so long. But the way they're handling this one, I got to give them an A.
You do. You have to give them an A, but we also have to keep this in the back of our heads. And I've gotten this a lot with people in Iowa who will say, okay, well, we're going to have these Big Ten athletes or these football players getting tested every single day, and we can't even test some of the medical workers at the University of Iowa Hospital. And it's tough. That point is not lost on me. It's not. I will defend the Big Ten, and I'll make this distinction. I will defend the Big Ten because they knew they had to come up with their own plan in order to make up any of the money that is lost. And they realized that it's sort of every person for themselves right now, and they had the resources to do it. But let's make no mistake about any of this. This whole thing, whether or not you can do something safely or come up with a plan to have your business or your sports league come back, is based on how much money you have.
And you have to honestly be honest, you know this for a fact because you look at the Big Ten and I'm sure you saw Ryan Day's comments talking about 50 staff members that are deemed to be Tier 1 because of their regular contact with the players. They're not going to go home and stay with their families through once, as of I think now, because, y'all kick off October 24th. Right. And they're saying that, we're going to be around 120 football players, coaching staff, 50 staff members. And this is Ohio State. And Ryan Day said that they've haven't put a requirement, but almost all of the coaches have decided to live somewhere else.
And you know what? You have to do that. You really have to, because their 5% threshold. That's the one rule where you look at it and you're
think about that.
That is very, very concerning on face value. But if you do the things correctly, if you stay in isolation, that's the way to do it. Now, me and John had a interesting conversation. It was sparked by Thursday Night Football. And
please, let's talk about this.
I absolutely want to talk about this. We were talking about Adam Gase, and everyone knows he's awful at his job. Sorry. If you're a Jets fan, I think you know that. If you're an NFL fan, I think you know that in general. Look at what Ryan Tannehill's done without him. Look at how he's mismanaged all these injuries. But I just want to know, can you, at this point, make any solid point that would say, okay, Adam Gase is good to keep his job?
No.
That was very simple and clearly put on.
Absolutely not. You can't.
No, with a caveat.
I got one.
With a caveat. Okay, what's the caveat?
Oh, you have a caveat too? I wonder if it's mine.
Yeah, there's not everybody in that organization is inept. From the owner,
right?
Greg Williams,
right? That's fair. That's fair.
To the CEO, to Gabe, what in God's name is going on with the training staff in New York?
I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
Is it training staff or is it? Well, it's got to be training staff. But Adam Gase also has it's
an operation.
He can't nip it in the bud though. He took the blame for Le'Veon Bell, right?
Well, here's what I'm saying. Kelechi Osemele last year, that whole saga.
Who?
Kelechi, he's the left guard for the Kansas City Chiefs now. He's
left guard for the Kansas
perennial
City
All-Pro, by the way. Yeah,
All-Pro. He comes to New York from the Oakland Raiders, and he has a torn labrum. They try to make him play through the torn labrum and say, oh, no, you can get surgery at the end of the season. Well, you're allowed to get a second opinion in the NFL, so he gets a second, a third, and a fourth opinion from doctors outside of the Jets training staff that all say, get the surgery now. Your labrum is shredded. This is a bad injury.
Dude, and I know all about that one, man. They really, the Jets tried to have him play through that?
Not only they have the
Hey, Johnny, I've seen it before.
They sued him for getting his surgery.
What?
They kept taking away paychecks because he wouldn't show up to practice and treatment for his torn labrum.
You wonder why nobody wants to go there.
Similar shades to what the Redskins had going on last year with Trent Williams.
the Redskins also in the same boat, as we say in the NFL. You can spot dysfunction from a mile away. The Jets and the Washington football team fit that bill to a T.
I still
now,
say it.
With the Jets, fast forward to last night, we're talking about the training staff. They draft who Gabe believes is the best tackle in the draft. They get him.
Hey, this is what triggered me, by the way. Hey, Alex, you can understand this. What he just did last night with Mekhi Becton is what triggered me more than anything.
And then what about reading about Sam Darnold today? Didn't it just add the cherry on the top?
They don't care. They simply don't care if they endanger their players. I don't know what their justification for it is, but at this point, it's a willful ineptitude. Like it's almost,
okay,
it's not just
stupid.
The interesting thing is it's weird because like it's not just working to the detriment of the players, which it is, but it's working to the detriment of the franchise as a whole. You have these investments, you have these picks, and you decide to throw them in there even though they're hurt and have them play through shoulder injuries. It's just I don't, and you just mentioned it's clearly ineptitude, and I completely agree with that sentiment. But at some point, I think Woody Johnson, I think their GM, they have to realize, okay, we need to protect investment instead of trying to get this right now thing, which clearly you guys aren't winning. You're 0-4 while doing this. So, like, what's the justification? Is there a justification as to why you keep throwing these hurt guys out there?
Well, you said the name right there. It starts at the top, Woody Johnson. And Woody Johnson needs to send Dan Snyder Christmas cards for overshadowing how bad of an owner he is and how bad he is at his job.
Dude, you know how he got all of his money, don't you? He just inherited the deadgum pharmaceutical fortune from Johnson & Johnson. This is a dude who literally inherited $1 billion bleeping dollars. What did you expect him to be? I expect him to pretty much be inept. Is a dude who literally was born, thought he hit a triple because he was on third base. But I got a little bitty, and I want to run this really quick by you because Adam Gase is from Miami. We saw the very first press conference, and the only thing I can say is I'm a little bit worried because Woody Johnson is the ambassador to also the United Kingdom. No, I'm not. That was his grandfather. I'm just kidding. But no, I'm a little bit worried because the Jets is going down the toilet, and it seems like maybe this is like Tony Montana when he moved in on Michelle Pfeiffer in Scarface.
Oh gosh!
Like, do you think that Adam Gase has Woody Johnson jacked on yayo? If Reggie White can float conspiracy theories, why can't I? I mean, Reggie Bush.
No, I mean, hey, in 2020, John, I can't say that
Barry was a mayor of Washington, D.C., and he was all smoking rock up in his office.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, this is what you get on Sports 56 Happy Hour.
Hey, Alex, I know you have a very busy day, and I know you got some tacos and a couple of left-handed cigarettes to get to. Make sure you go to KGYM Radio. Check him out. And also on Twitter, it's at KGYM Radio. And, of course, my good buddy Gabe is at G_Coon71. You follow Gabe all the time. I know that. But check out his brother as well because – well, Alex is the stud of the family, it looks like I'm finding out. He agrees with me on the bro, but we're going to go with the man's ear in honor. But at Alex Coon 523, at Alex Coon 523, give him a follow. Have a blessed weekend, my brother.
See you, Alex.
You too, guys. Talk to you next week.
That's my friend Alex Coon. Never forget this, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. And write it down now. Put it in your phone, too, because whenever you need to sell your house, bing, bang, boom, you just call 901-406-1101. Bill from iBuy Houses, guaranteed to close in 5 days. Any house, any area, as is, as simple as that. You're going to love it. 901-406-1101. We'll be back in 2 shakes, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
It's R&R on Sports.
The word is out about R&R on Sports, where you've heard interviews from Ken Griffith Jr., Dr. J, Hank Aaron, and many, many more. R&R on Sports, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1. Don't miss us.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up? We're here to help you get it done. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX conventional motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $27.99. And with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup, you can get it fast, your way. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry: Honda mowers, trimmers, and generators, Steel blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws, Echo trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws, plus quality products from Red Mat and Shindawa. And they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
We saved serious cash with our Progressive Home and Auto Bundle and used the money to buy a new boat.
Who's ready to water ski?
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big money with Progressive, but not enough for a new boat. They'll probably spend it on rent or gas money or maybe one of those little plastic wading pools for the yard.
Ahoy there!
Is what the captain might say. On the toy boat. In your wading pool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Let's go!
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Many a hand has scaled the grand old face of the plateau. Some belong to strangers and some to folks you know. Holy Ghost and talk show hosts are planted in the sand to beautify the foothills, shake the many hands. There's nothing on the top but a bucket and a mop and an illustrated book about birds. You see a lot up there, but don't be scared. Who needs Jackson when you got words?
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour. It's my last segment of the day. Johnny Radio, Gabe Kuhn at G_Kuhn71. We're chilling in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Don't forget Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Go by and pick up those Sports 56 masks. Check out the world's biggest spa sale and have a lot of fun. And get yourself ready for a little SEC football. That's right, because they're back. They're ready to rock and load it. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Texas A&M, the fact that you're the only 11 spots behind Alabama in the polls, but you're a 19-point dog is kind of embarrassing.
You think they'll cover that?
No. I think Alabama. Oh, Alabama or Texas
I
A&M?
thought Texas A&M.
No, I don't think they covered it. I'm sorry. Mac
They
Jones
did not
looks
look good last week, though,
Jalen
either.
Watt.
A&M.
No, they didn't. They barely beat Vanderbilt, bro. You know, by the way.
At what point with quarterbacks, and we do this all the time with college quarterbacks, where every single year you're like, oh, he's going to take a step forward. At what point do we say, like, okay, Kellen Mond's just what he is? He is
I've
what he
been
is.
saying it for the longest time. I hate his long Byron Leftwich, even longer and slower and less accurate throwing motion. I mean, he like points to you like he's going to do a discus throw. I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, he's a better runner than a thrower. He doesn't look like a quarterback. I don't understand Jimbo Fisher. You'd think he would know. I mean, he's only been around some good quarterbacks in his day. That Kellen Mond's not the dude, but I guess that's the best they got on their team, and it's kind of sad. But get ready for SEC football. Major League Baseball playoff action still going on because, man, Cubbies, Miami, we might have us a game tomorrow night, and then we're going to get the division set up next week. But don't forget, Lakers tonight. Miami. Oh, yeah. Game 2 of the finals. I like that. And you know what else is tonight? You got your Cardinals. Oh, yes. And did you know they're plus 10 And I'm going to tell you something. Mr. Flaherty, he's getting that W, baby. Go Cardinals, go. Punch that ticket. San Diego, go bye-bye. But I'll tell you something. In basketball, I love L.A. Don't forget MemphisFarmers.com. My friend Chad Gatlin, he's the best in the business. He gives you this show. He's awesome. Check him out. Give him a call at 901-235-1176. Or go get that fast quote at MemphisFarmers.com. Gabe, I hope you have a blessed weekend. All of you out there, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I want y'all to do me a favor, though. Get out there, make this world a better place. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.